Hello and welcome to the channel, and welcome to what is I hope a new series that I'm calling Guitar Gubbins, where we check out some of the weirder guitar accessories that are available on the market. The sort of products that you might find interesting but not necessarily want to spend your hard-earned money on. Today I've got 3 products for you, so let's get started. Have you ever been shopping for a capo but thought, I wish this had more of a nautical theme, or I wish this one was a bit more fishy? Well, I've got good news for you, as you can now get the Shark Capo. This one was bought off Temu for about £1, but I've seen them drop shipped elsewhere as well. Now surprisingly, it's actually quite a good construction when you consider that it's only £1. It's made of quite good metal. They don't say what sort of metal it is, and then the teeth are a rubberized sort of texture, so they shouldn't damage your neck, but I wouldn't trust it. So does it actually work? Well, there's only one way to find out. Second fret, you already know where this is going. Yeah, that's enough of that, but you can't blame me given the news that's just come out. Let's move it up a bit and just check it works further up the neck. Right at the top. So there you go, it works as a capo. Should you buy things from Temu that are very cheap? That's up for debate, but if you do buy one of these, it works as a capo. On to the next one. So when I was putting together the idea for this video, I asked a few guitarist friends of mine if there were any products that they'd considered buying but not been sure whether they should pull the trigger. The one that came back by far the most frequently was the EBow, this little guy. So the idea with this is that in this section, so you put a 9-volt battery in here, and in this section there's a magnet, and the idea is that you can get a sort of bow-like effect. Think Jimmy Page's bowing his Les Paul with an actual bow, but in an electric form, hence EBow. Now I've only been playing with this for a little while, so I'm far from an expert with it, but if you're looking for someone who plays with a bit more experience than I do, check out JHS's video with Stu G. He's really good with it and he'll show you what it can really do. But I'm going to attempt to at least give you some idea of how this works. So in here you have 2 settings, one that they call the standard mode, which just sustains a note, a bit like a Sustainiac pickup. And then you've also got harmonic mode, which you have to get the positioning a bit more right, but then rings out the harmonic, a bit like a pinch harmonic would. So we'll start with the standard mode. Now, I really like that, and I can definitely see myself getting a lot of use out of this, especially for my solo project material. If I just throw on some reverb with the mix all the way to the wet side, I think that that would come up with a really cool sound as well. Yeah, that's really cool. I'll switch the reverb off for now, and if we switch over to the harmonic setting, now this can be a bit more temperamental and you've got to get the positioning right like you do with a pinch harmonic, but when it works, it sounds really quite cool. if I throw a bit of fuzz or distortion on that, I think that would be a really good way of creating feedback if you don't have the space to be cranking your amp right up. So that's the EBow, and that's a rough idea of how it works. I think this is a really cool bit of kit. If you're more of a traditional sort of guitarist, then this might not be the one for you, but if you play any sort of genre that requires a bit of ambience or some slightly different pick attacks, say, then I think this is definitely worth the 100 or so quid that it costs to pick one of these up. Moving on to the final product for today's video, and I can already tell this is going to be by far the worst, is this. Now this is a guitar pick, and just on first impressions alone, compared to a regular sized guitar pick, this thing is enormous. So you're probably wondering, well, why is it enormous? Well, when you hit it, it flashes. So this might be incredibly tacky, but I'm just going to shut some blinds. There we go, that's a bit darker, so hopefully you'll be able to see now. There you go, so there's the flashing pick. Now I have to say, I'm someone who likes quite a thick guitar pick. I'm currently using one of these Dunlop Flow picks, which is a 3mm pick, so that's already very fat. Compare it to the LED picks, and the difference is silly. This has got to be sort of 5mm. Combined with its big size, just it doesn't feel nice to hold. It's also made from horribly cheap plastic, which means that I don't know how well this will pick up on the microphone, but it makes a really horrible scratching sound when you play with it. Now I have seen these on websites like Temu for a couple of quid. I picked these up off Amazon and they were about 8 quid. Now for 8 quid, just don't. You're much better off spending your money and buying some proper picks. For a couple of quid, again, whether you want to shop on these very cheap Chinese websites is one thing, but even then, I wouldn't really say it's worth it. You're never going to record or play anything that sounds fantastically good with this. Maybe for a music video or something where you're not playing or you can't be heard playing, then you might be fun, but it is really just a bit of a tacky novelty item. So there you go, there's the 3 items for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment down below if there's something you'd like me to check out in another episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.